My favorite non-weighted gear options for home fitness. Hi, I'm Jonathan Pritchard with Theology, Geek Fitness. Now, when people think about working out at home or just anywhere they want to, outdoors or whatever, just away from the gym, they always think, well, I probably need something like a kettlebell or some dumbbells, adjustable dumbbells. Maybe even if I'm working out at home, I need a squat rack and a bench and weight plates and a bar and dumbbells, maybe a kettlebell or whatever. Even sandbags be weighted gear, but those aren't always necessary items to have when you're training away from the gym. And in fact, I use a mixture of weighted gear and what I call non-weighted gear. That would include like resistance bands, suspension trainers, and gym rings, and pull-up bars, and things like that. So in those categories, here are my favorites that I like to use. And this is not in any particular order, though I do rank my favorite weighted and non-weighted gear and my favorite gear at the end of the year because I try and do things. But one of my favorites, and what I've considered until here recently, for years, the best single home fitness product on the market, wearing the t-shirt for it, the T2 Fusion Trainer. One of my absolute favorites. The Bull Bar beat it out last time, but it came in number 2. Still one of my top favorite pieces of non-weighted equipment. You can use it for suspension training. You can use it for its isokinetic, which is another way of saying body fight, using unilateral movements, one side of your body against the other. I know that Liebert has something similar to this. The HIT system, nowhere near as good as the T2 Fusion Trainer. I did a review on it, on the Liebert HIT thing. It's not even close. You can go check out that review, and in fact, the B-roll was so distorted in the video, but I didn't care enough about the product to even replace the B-roll. But anyway, the T2 Fusion Trainer is one of my favorite pieces of home gym equipment because it does suspension training and isokinetic body fight training. You can also do like resistance band type training with the bungee attachment, and then you can start combining those different things relatively quickly and easy. For example, if you have the bungee attached, you can do those bungee exercises that go straight into the isokinetics, and it's not really hard to detach the bungee and just go straight into suspension training either. It's really a very intuitive product once you get the hang of using it. So as far as non-weighted gear goes, I mean, it's got suspension training and bungee training plus the isokinetic feature. I mean, what more could you want in a single product? It's about $179, so it's on the higher end, but you can usually find it discounted for 10 to 15% off that regular price, or on sales around the holidays. But as far as the single piece of equipment goes that just can do the most bang for your buck, you can even do wave training, kind of like with the inertia wave. You can use the T2 Fusion Trainer. It does all of that. So that's got to be in this list of my favorites, because it is one of my favorite pieces of home gym equipment. I like the t-shirt as well. So the T2 Fusion Trainer is great. Another one of my favorites would be the double circle gym rings with the straps, and it's got the door anchor and the foot slings and stuff. So what I really like about this is, instead of using like normal gym straps, which keep on hand in case you need them, but these double circle straps use a carabiner system, so it's easy to set up, it's easy to get even, you're not having to constantly make micro adjustments. So that set of rings with those straps, if you could find level places to hang it, like a bar or ceiling mounts or something, or just like a beam somewhere, you get quick and easy level setups very fast. So that's going to be one of my favorites. Plus, with the door anchor thing, you can just double that as a suspension trainer and do suspension training exercises if you don't have like a place to mount it if you're traveling or whatever. But you can usually find somewhere to mount it pretty easily outside the world somewhere. Find a beam, or go to a park that has jungle gym type stuff there. The only problem with that is if it's on a branch and the branch isn't like perfectly level, you're not going to get those carabiner straps level. There's just no way to do it. So one of the things you got to look out for that. And so keep a set of just normal gym ring straps on hand in case you have to use like a tree branch or whatever. So that's how I use it. But I mean, the fact that you could probably find a beam or a bar or somewhere to mount it pretty easily. And you can mount it right off of like portable pull-up bars or like the cross grips, what I'll talk about in a minute. Works great. So I highly recommend that piece of equipment. And speaking of the cross grips, probably the best. It's pricey. Usually when it's on sale, the best sale price you can get is for like $99. So it is a bit pricey, but these are probably the best portable pull-up bars. They're really two separate handle things that you just mount on the door. Great. They're stable. You can hang rings off of them. They're compact, so they don't take up a lot of space if you're traveling. So that's definitely one of my favorite pieces of equipment. That's a non-weighted piece of equipment. Great portable pull-up bar. So if you want to do pull-ups and you're indoors, you can just mount on a door. It's not going to do any damage to any door frames. That's one of the highest selling points about it. And it's expensive, like I said. It's almost $100 when you get it on sale, but it's worth every penny. The thing is rock solid. It's served me well for years. So, with that, you just need a door and you can hang rings off it. You got your pull-ups and your dips, so that's a great piece of non-weighted equipment that you can use. Longtime viewers of this channel know that I like resistance bands. Resistance bands are great. You can use them indoor, you can use outdoor, you can anchor them to a door anchor, or you can find certain companies like Undersun, for example, make a indoor-outdoor anywhere type anchor. Can use both on a door or just any sort of pole or tree branch or whatever, tree stump, just wherever you can find to anchor it. That anchor works and it'll save your bands from attaching it directly to like rusty pipes or whatever you find around the streets. Great anchor, but resistance bands, even if you don't have a place to anchor them or a door anchor, there's so many different workouts, exercises that you can do with resistance bands. So I'm a big fan of those, especially for their cost, their portability, their use. You can get great workouts, total body, work every single muscle group, anchored or unanchored. It's just a fantastic set of kit, and it was underutilized and it became overhyped. And now I think it's like everyone's being, the hype about it and the overhype about resistance bands is worn off. So finally people are just having a sensible approach, which was always my approach. I never exclusively was a resistance band guy, but I've always incorporated it. And sometimes I just do resistance band workouts and I think they're fantastic. So that's always a great option. The sling trainer from Angles 90 is one of the most compact portable things. It's like gym rings, except you have the Angles 90 ergonomic grips, which sometimes I like those better for dips. But you can do pull-ups, you can do dips with it, you can do all your suspension training exercises. Anchoring on the door is a little bit wonky because you use the cam buckles as your anchors, which technically you could do that with gym rings or anything with cam buckles, but it's not my favorite solution. But it forces you to get creative how you anchor the sling trainer, same way that you would do with gym rings, but it's cheap, it's very compact, it's very versatile. So I love the Angles 90 sling trainer. In fact, their whole athletic kit with the two bands and if you get into Angles 90, you can get that cable pulley system. Usually when that's on sale for like $20 right now, it's a really great deal. And the homemade weight, and just get all kinds of guerrilla style workouts with all those pieces of equipment. Go see what they have. So that whole Angles 90 product line really is one of my favorite non-weighted equipment pieces out there. Everything they sell is great, and the way that they use it, go check out their YouTube channel. A lot of creative stuff. So Angles 90 products are some of my favorite as well. And then just getting a good old-fashioned suspension trainer. Doesn't have to be an overpriced TRX. I don't care for those. I'm using a $10 suspension trainer that I got from Five Below. It's a shame they don't sell them anymore, but that's fantastic. Looking at getting a NOSC because I like the company, I like what they're about, and they're reasonably priced suspension trainers. So I want to check out their products, and hopefully they live up to the hype that I've heard about them, because I've heard so many good things. Plus, I just follow them on Instagram, and I like what they're about. They won me over with their Easter Instagram post because, they're proclaiming the resurrection of Jesus. And hey, this channel's called Theology, Geek Fitness, and I'm a theology geek. I love the Lord. So they're a Christian company. That always goes a long way for me to want to support them and their products. So I'm going to check into that. So suspension trainer is one of my favorites as well. I've gone back and forth whether I like suspension training or resistance bands better. I don't know. It's because you can find both at reasonable prices somewhere. You can have both for under $100, probably even under $75. No reason to choose. They make a good couple, two pieces of equipment that you can use anywhere, anytime, and have a blast with it. But now I'm wondering, do I like suspension training or gym rings? And I think gym rings win out. The only thing the gym rings can't do, unless somebody ever invents it, is for certain exercises, suspension trainers have the rotating handle. But I got to thinking, Kinsui came up with a way to make their nanobar handle dual purpose. Plus, Kinsui also has the Neo rings that have the two different sizes on each half. And I was wondering if somebody could ever figure out how to make part of a gym ring a rotating handle, just kind of part of. I don't know. That might be an interesting product idea for somebody out there to make, a gym ring that part of it has just a rotating handle on some end of it that you can, have that option in it. That might be really cool. It's probably not going to be for gym ring enthusiasts, but it's going to be for people like me who like interesting, products like that. That might be something someone's to look into. I think Angles 90 is thinking about. Do you have product ideas? Well, I might submit that one because at least they're taking suggestions. So that's pretty cool. So those are some of my favorite non-weighted pieces of gym equipment. There's a lot of other type stuff out there. A lot of it's gimmicky or whatever, but those are my favorites. What are your favorites? Let me know in the comments, and I appreciate you watching this video. We'll see you in the next one. God bless.